I once said that I like my steak where a good veterinarian can get them back on their feet in like 30 minutes. And that's because I don't like a dry, uh, tough, hard to chew steak. But take my word, I have found a method that cooks a steak to well done that is just as good as my normal uh, rare steak or medium rare. And I think if you try it, you'll see what I mean. Now, it involves a pressure cooker, and I'm actually using the Ninja One lid, the Smart lid, they call it, that has a thermometer. But before I'd try and cook a steak again to well done that I had to eat, I would try something with any pressure cooker, but this one does work real well. But I'm about to demonstrate exactly what I mean and show you just how good an inch and a half ribeye can be cooked well done that anyone would eat, like I put over there. Let's get it started. Okay, there is our specimen for tonight. It is a inch and a half thick prime USDA prime ribeye from Costco. Now, I will say that you have to sear it after this is done, and that means sear the sides, and it kind of does what they call the Maillard reaction, and it kind of gives it flavor, but mainly it browns it. It makes it look a lot better because when it comes out, it's kind of a gray cook. It looks similar to a steak that's been cooked under sous vide, if you've ever done that. And be honest with you, it's real similar, if you ask me, to a sous vide steak. Now, I've got this sitting here. I probably won't use it tonight, but this is one of my favorite methods. I'll fry a couple of 2 or 3 pieces of bacon and then eat those while this is cooking, and then sear it in that fat from that bacon. Well, tonight I'm going to try and do it all in here, so I really won't be able to do that because that has to be done outside in a skillet. But if you wanted to do it that way and you have those provisions, by all means. But we'll probably use this right here because, like I said, I want to do it all in here. And you can do this in an Instant Pot, or this right here. It does work well, and it's because of that. And you'll see why in just a minute, because of this thermometer. Okay, so I have this rack in there, and I wouldn't want it laying in the water, obviously, so you do need to use a rack. I always use, as a bare minimum, 3/4 cups of water when I'm pressure cooking. So that's what's in there. Now, the thermometer, which is, if you ask me, fairly important. So what you want is in the center as center of the steak as you can get. And you can see that's what I would call center. So I put my fingers right there. Then I try and hit, the up and down part, the vertical and the horizontal, whatever you want to say, but just try and hit the center of the steak. So, and then I'm going to turn it like this where my cable will be closer to this point, which I've already removed this from there. If you have one of these, you have to do that. Next is we're going to close the lid, make sure I don't pinch my cable. We're going to slide it to the pressure cook position. And then, kind of important, or the only way I've tried it is on low. Now, maybe high would work good too, but I haven't tried it. We're going to leave it on natural release. So, in other words, I'm going to set that to seal, and it will wait till it to bleed all the way down, if you understand that. If not, hit a comment and we'll answer that. But we're going to do a natural release, and we're going to kind of keep an eye on it. But I'm going to hit manual for my temp that probe's going to be looking for. Now, I'm going to think with it doing the natural release, it's probably going to gain 10, maybe 15 degrees. So I'm just going to go ahead and set it for 150. That means this device will cut off when that steak hits 150, and then it will start dissipating the pressure naturally. We're going to hit start. And as soon as that happens, we'll be back and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so I did want to kind of show you, the temp goes up fairly fast. I didn't time it, but I know, I looked at my watch. It's right at about 22 minutes right now, and we're at 148. So a lot quicker than some methods, and plus you still have to sear it, but it's worth the time it takes. But now we're counting down on our natural release, and we'll see where it goes to. Be back. Okay, I will say now, I do want to say this. The last steak I did, I had it set for 135. So I'm 15 degrees hotter than that. And that one went to, I think it was 165, but my point is it was done all the way through. So this one is going to certainly be done through and through, and I want to show you how good it's going to look, but we'll see. Okay, so about another 8 minutes before it said, well, 7 minutes and 15 seconds before it said open the lid. And a lot of times it kind of won't let you. It says it a little early because this pin is still up just a touch, but it's low enough that I can do the release. In other words, you're not harming the meat, if you ask me. And that's a whole nother story about whether you should quick release meats or not. But we're going to let it bleed down. I'm going to open it up. We're going to get it out. As a matter of fact, we got to get busy because we're using one device. I'm going to keep it warm, which it's not going to get, even if it does get a little cool, we're fixing to sear it, which will reheat it. But what we're about to do is take it out, wrap it with aluminum foil, and get this ready to sear in. And that's why, like I said, we're using one device. There we go. It's open, and like I said, it's gray. Now, don't expect it to look beautiful. And again, if you've ever did a sous vide steak, you know what I mean. Ooh, I like to miss my target. I'm going to look at the temp on that as soon as I find my thermometer, just to see where we're at. And we are 175, 178, and that's after. I'm just looking for the lowest temp now because it's always different on the exterior. But 180, that's a 180 steak, but you take my word, that's 15 degrees above well done. So we're going to put that right there. I'm going to drop this towel on there, put some aluminum foil. I'm going to put this towel on there to kind of keep it warm. Again, it doesn't hurt if that one cooled off a little bit. It's well done. Now I'm going to get this out of here. I'm going to take this out for right now. And I don't have to show you all this because what I'm going to do is take all this out, pour that water out, dry this thing right here, and then we're going to sear using the same device. So, I'll get that done, I'll be back. All right, I dried that out. You can see it's dry. Drop that back in, put these towels right here. I'm using avocado, whatever you got with a fairly high smoke point. And I'm just going to kind of cover the bottom, no big deal, tablespoon maybe or so. And now we're going to turn it all the way off. And I'm going to turn it back on. It's already set for sear saute on high 5, and I'm hoping you can see all of that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to lower this camera, just bear with me. It's set sear saute, high 5. Start. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm looking for around, well, we'll see. We'll see what we get in just a few minutes. 350 to 450 or so. And now I got the camera so low you can't see this, but right now we're 165. So I'm going to raise the camera back up and get this set up, but we're about to do it. Be back. And unfortunately, I didn't set up a timer today. I probably should have, but I just got the camera raised back up, and it is 111. And we are at we're still around 165. So, oh, that's my bad. Good thing I looked. And this is not something this is something you might want to remember. In fact, you had to put something back in that device. So there's your learning experience. I didn't think about it. You either got to have that or that plug. So again, we're just a few minutes away. But you can see it's already going up, 168. So I'll be back. We learned something. Okay, so kind of total disclosure here. It's been 3 minutes, and I've opened my door and turned on my ventilation system. We're at 400 degrees. We're going to try it right there, see if it will sear, and I have a feeling it will. And because I do expect, now you want to dry it before you drop it in there, so I may even put it on this towel right quick to kind of get some of that liquid off. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but it's obvious, common sense. I'm just drying the steak. Now, I'm going to move it around. Now, it ain't exactly sizzling like I was expecting, and it's not really smoking that bad. I usually do this outside on my cast iron skillet. You can see what's going on, and it's 400 degrees, so it's hot enough. There's no doubt. I'll let you see in there. Move the camera a little abrupt, but the point is, well, you'll see what the point is. It is an excellent way to cook a steak. Well, it's browning it real well. It's just not making a lot of noise like it does outside on that cast iron, but you can see what it just did. And you saw how quick that was. And I'm going to move it around a little bit more. I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm going to just set it right back on that wooden plate. And we're going to, might even take some temps to see what it ended up at. But we saw it. It was 170, whatever it was, 180. Plenty enough to be called well done. And as a matter of fact, it's probably okay right now. I'm going to let it get just a little more of that Maillard, which it does add a lot of flavor. It's part of the deal, if you ask me, on a steak. So you kind of got to press it around, but we're fixing to call this one, we're fixing to call it done. I'm going to put it right there, and you can see it looks good. We're going to turn that off so it'll quit. But that was 5 minutes and 13 seconds. From start to finish, after I put my plug in. And technically, it doesn't even need to rest at this point. Now, I'm kind of not, I don't have my act together, and I probably should get my act together, but I'm going to make a picture of that steak right quick, so y'all bear with me, and I'll be right back. All right, that was quick, but I had to get one for my thumbnail on the video, which I'm not even sure I'll even use that one. But we're going to cut into it and let you see. And then you can see that look tender. It's because it is. Look at that. I mean, that is the only well-done steak, I guarantee you, that I would ever eat. And I don't really know how to display it that good. There's not an excellent way to show a steak that I know of. But you can see right there, that is, that's tender. And not dry. That's my point. It's not a dried out, leather-like steak that you just about can't eat. And I'll take a slice of it to show you. In fact, I'll do that in front of the camera, right here close up. That is, I don't know how you'd get any better than that for a 180-degree steak or 175, whatever it was. And an excellent beefy flavor. You know, it doesn't take the flavors out. It might be better than grilling. So, there you go, y'all. And I may come back and do another recipe. We'll see. I don't know if I want to put it on this one. Okay, so if I decide to air this, this will be a bonus footage of some filet mignon, USDA Prime from Costco again. I'm going to do both of them at the same time. And this is a test video after I've done it a couple of times, but I'm just still trying to feather out what things might be needed. So we're going to go with the thermometer, same thing. And I probably don't need to show you all of this, but I'm going to do it right quick. So let's just bear with me. But I got 3/4 cups of water. It's going right there. I'm going to cook both of these steaks at the same time, and I'm going to be going by the larger one. And you could reverse that, and if it was a his and hers situation, you would reverse it to whatever you thought would work best, because this one's going to be a lot more done than that one. So, but the filet mignon, well, you'll see in a minute. We're going to go right here, and we'll turn it on, and we're going to go back to low. Oops, dropped something. We're going to set it to manual, and we're going to take this one to 130. And we're going to see what it goes to after the natural release from 130. I got to lock that. That's sealed. Everything looks good. I'm on low. Thermometer's in. Off and running. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so I keep forgetting to set up a timer, but I wanted you to see about how fast the temp rises while you're doing this. Now, I started this at 11:45, so we're about 17 minutes in, and you're fixing to see, well, I'm going to let you see how fast the temp rises, because this is a really quick method. And well, you've already saw how well it looks, but you're fixing to see with the filet mignon how well it looks. But anyhow, that's how fast it happens. Now we got to go through the natural. There you go. Now we got to go through the natural release, and we do have a timer for that. So see y'all in a minute. Okay, so in 6 minutes or so, it gave me the open light. The pin's still not all the way down, but I'm probably going to go ahead and release it at this time, and that's what we're going to do. There's a little bit of pressure still left. Although it says open, you can't until that pressure is released. So we're going to let it bleed all the way down, and that's close enough. I always put my hand here. I do it with I respect pressure cookers. That's all I really know to say. So let's take a look at what we got. And we're going to, this one right here did cook out a little bit. We still got to brown them now, y'all. In fact, well, let me lay them on this wood for a minute and let you see what they look like. And let them kind of, so you can see that they're not beautiful. I've already showed you this once, and I know that, but I'm going to dry those, and then I'm going to wrap them in that aluminum foil and put this towel over them while I heat this up. And even if they cool a little bit, it's not going to be a huge deal, because you're going to heat them again here. There's really no reason to get in a huge hurry. You kind of get that notion, but you don't have to. Now, I do see a little red in that one at 130. Let's see what it came to during the entire process. And this one is 160. Well, I don't know how you beat that for what's considered well done, which is 165. I'll go all the way down and touch the wood and then come back, and I saw 165. Now this one, let's just see right quick. Yeah, it's even further. It's 180 or so. But what I was about to say is 165 is considered, if you ask me, that's well done. That would be my target for a well done steak. I'm going to get off this right quick. I'm going to get some paper towels, dry those, wrap them. I'm going to get this dried out, and we're going to sear it in the Ninja. Be back. We're about to see what it does. We're going to drop that one in, and now that had a little water on the bottom, and you need to be careful with that. That's because I didn't have it completely dried. Probably because I'm doing a video and I'm in a hurry. I always feel under the gun. So I got to find here it is. And we're going to move them around. It's already did the browning or the Maillard. A lot of people call it a lot of different things. I call it browning the steak. And it gives it it gives it looks. But to be honest with you, it gives it a lot of flavor. That's where it's at. I mean, that's part of it. It really is. And I'm not discounting that. I'm going to give it just a few more minutes, maybe move it around, both of them. We're not going to do a lot more than we're going to cut these things and see what they look like. And let's see what we got right now. In fact, I'm going to push it down. I'm going to pull the little one out right now, because it was plenty done. Now, there's the side I just did, and there's the other side. So you just kind of present the one that looks the best. I've read and saw where a lot of restaurants don't sear but one side, and that's if they're doing, that's if they're doing where they're trying to, medium or not medium, but a rare steak, because you don't want to cook it any further. But when you're doing a well done steak, it really doesn't matter. So it's almost cool enough for me to hold, but there's that side. And there's that side. Now, I would definitely serve that side, just because. I got to turn this off because it's going to start smoking a little bit. But we're going to let that sit there just a second, and then I'm going to get a knife out, and we're going to cut it. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, just to let you know, of course, I've lowered the camera and all, but I went ahead and took that pot outside because it was starting to smoke a little bit, and probably burning off some of the stuff that was left in there. And sorry for moving the camera around, but y'all bear with me. Salt. That's all this steak needs, if you ask me. That's all it would ever get if I were doing it. I'd like to find the knife I want, and I'm probably not. So we're fixing to cut it with this one. But let's just see what a fork will do. A fork will cut it. So you don't have to have a knife. There is a steak I just cut with a fork. And I don't know. You know, I don't even know where to go with that. It doesn't get much better, and that is a well done 165-degree steak. And I'm going to taste it just because I always do. And one of the good reasons to do that is to tell you, it's a beefy flavor. It's easy to chew. It's not leathery or any of the things like you usually get with a well-done steak. Gonna hush because this is just a bonus video, but you saw me cut it with a fork. Anyhow, now you know. I'll come back. All right, and just because I don't want to get lit up, I'm gonna cut this one with a fork too. There you go. Cut with a fork, and that's the 185-degree steak. I don't, you know, again, I can say it forever. I don't know how much better you could get, but there you go again.